to another episode of Talking Toku, the only podcast where we talk about sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. I am your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And hello, it's only been a week, I know. Are you surprised?
I'm so glad you're using that new intro.
I am too. It's fun. It's really fun. I like the new. I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, oh god, what was it? Was it? I'm pretty sure it was this, but it worked out. Everything worked out. That's our new intro going forward. New year, new Toku, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. I had a question about it and I completely forgot. Oh well.
I don't know. Was it the source of the intro?
Oh no, yeah. I was gonna ask because I don't know if we have explained to the audience where it's come from.
No, we haven't actually. So
because it's a little jarring. We've gone from our very samey intro every episode to this new wild and wacky one.
Discord, you motherfucker. At least it happened early this time, so I can catch it now.
And at least it happened to you, so I can do it in silence.
Yeah. So our new intro. So Letterboxd. If you follow me on Letterboxd, I'm not difficult to find. If you can even just search up Talking Toku on Letterboxd, I have a list of all the stuff we've covered under my account. But Letterboxd, similar to Spotify, did a Wrapped for this past year. I don't know if it's something they've done before, but it's the first time I've noticed they've done it. So they may have done it in the past. I don't know, but they did some weird thing where similar to how Spotify shows you what genres of music you listen to. Letterboxd did something similar where they did these are the genres of movies you've watched most, but they also went into the subgenres like Spotify would do. But they used they used a really stupid term for it. It wasn't subgenres. Was it microgenre maybe? It was something stupid like that.
That sounds adequately stupid.
I'm gonna look it up. Oh, thank you, Howard, my co-host of DCM. It was nanogenres, which is even stupider than I thought it was. Yeah, and apparently it's copyrighted, which I don't know why the hell they did that. But so for my personal Letterboxd Wrapped, it was the nanogenres I watched most was sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. And I sent that to you, Brian, and you were like, what you said something about it, we should do something with this on the show. And I was like, oh, well, that could be our new intro or something. And it just had it rolled off the tongue really nicely, so we kept it in, and now here we are.
No, that is exactly the that's exactly what I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
You sent it to me, or you sent me a screenshot of it, and I was just like, that sounds really funny and something stupid.
That's what I'm saying.
You would say.
Because I think I sent it to you because that being the nanogenres I watched most, that's very accurate and fitting, because that's if you haven't caught on to the fact, listening to the show, if you haven't caught on to the fact that that's the movies I watch most, but there we go. Now you have our origin story, our second origin story at least.
Yes.
God, we're 4 minutes into recording already, and we haven't even talked about what the hell we're talking about today. Amazing.
No, we have not.
So we should do that, Brian, because we have a really, really cool episode today. I think.
Today is the day.
It's the day. We teased it at the end of our last episode. So if you listen to the last episode, you'll know what we're talking about. But if you didn't listen to the last episode, you don't know what we're talking about. So first, go listen to that last episode so you know what we're talking about. Or you could just keep listening to this episode, and you'll know what we're talking about in 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah, right now.
No. We're gonna keep stalling, Brian. We're gonna keep stalling. They'll never know. It's just gonna be an hour of us rambling, and they'll never figure it out unless they look at the title of the episode. Which at that point
we interviewed somebody.
We did, yeah. So If anyone has seen the animations on YouTube from YouTuber Quazies, all the really adorable Godzilla animations, hey, guess what? We interviewed them, and it was delightful. It was actually a really, really fun time. It was like the first like interview or even like public-y talking thing they'd ever done regarding their work, and it was really, really fun. I had a great time. Brian, I assume you had a great time, and Quazies seemed like they had a great time as well. So I'm very excited for you guys to hear that, because it was a very, very good interview. I think not to toot our horn. But I think you guys are gonna enjoy it quite a lot. But that's for a little bit, because we got some stuff to talk about. News wise, it's only been a week since we recorded, but so not a lot of news, but like some pretty interesting stuff. Right off the bat, and this, if you listen to our last episode, you'll already know about this, because we kind of talked about it at the very, very end of the episode. Because, well, the news didn't break at the end of the last episode. It kind of leaked because it showed up on AMC's website, and then I think we got like an actual announcement for it the day after. Godzilla Minus One Minus Color is, I hesitate to say coming to theaters, because by the time this episode is out, it will already be in theaters, because it drops on the 26th, which is when this episode is going to drop. So if you're listening to this, you can go see it right now. But I'm really excited that we're getting this. I didn't think we were going to get it, so it was a nice little.
I thought there was no way in hell we were.
Yeah, same.
It.
I mean, I know they did one for Shin Godzilla earlier this year, but like I didn't really care about that one. I don't think Shin Godzilla would benefit really from being in black and white.
I mean, if something is set in modern time, making it black and white just kind of it's not the same. It's just not the same.
I mean, I guess it depends on the kind of movie it is, because like I haven't seen it yet, but I know Logan, they have a black and white version of that, and like stylistically I could see that working really well in black and white, but Shin Godzilla, I don't see that working in black. It just seems like they're just trying to kind of capitalize on its popularity, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't feel like the kind of movie that would make sense to be in black and white, you know?
A lot of movies that have re-releases or like special editions that are black and white, it was a deliberate decision by the director to have it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Shin Godzilla seems like that was a studio decision.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look up.
I would bet money that Anno was. I do not think Anno was adamant about having a version of Shin Godzilla.
Probably not. No.
Black and white. I don't think he really cares very much.
I'm actually looking.
If anything, I would probably think that he would argue for the opposite.
Honestly, yeah. I'm looking at the Sci-Fi Japan press release about it. I'm just seeing. I mean, he presented it at the like little mini festival that it was at, so they got Anno to talk about it, but like it doesn't. I don't really see any particular details about why it exists.
Hey, I could be wrong. Just
who knows?
In my head. Hey, but you want to know some bullshit that annoyed me that I saw on, believe it or not, r/Godzilla?
Lay it on me.
The post was positive, but the wording was annoying.
Okay.
The person said that Godzilla Minus One Minus Color is a shameless cash grab, but I am in it hook, line, and sinker. And I'm like, how is it? Explain to me how it's a cash grab. Like, for one, every company is gonna try and make money, but also like, have you talked to Yamazaki? Have you asked him if it's a cash grab? Have you asked him if this is just something he wanted? Like, how would you know? Like, it's just annoying. I hate wording like that because it just puts it in a bad light, even if it is a positive post. Yeah, I mean, fucking people, dude.
I mean, I guess hey, if it is a cash grab, it's working because like we're both gonna go see it. So like,
I think so, but like that's just, I think for one, it's a symptom of people being done with Hollywood stupid
for sure.
releases. But also, like, you can't really apply the same logic to a movie that did not come out from Hollywood.
Yeah, it's
or did not come out of Hollywood.
Sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. People are annoying.
But yeah.
Anyways,
so I will say, so it's in theaters for a week. So from January 26th, which is not today because I'm not going to date it that much, the episode at least. January 26th to February 2nd, which I believe Toho said as much. February 2nd is the last day Godzilla Minus One will be in U.S. theaters. So if you have not seen it, which I would be shocked if you haven't, if you're listening to this show, this is your last chance. You got one more week, guys. Unless you're listening to this like a week after or like a couple years in the future, and maybe you can just pop it in the Blu-ray player or something. I don't know. Point is, if you have yet to see Minus One in theaters, run, don't walk, and go see it, because it's a phenomenal movie, as I'm sure you've gathered at this point, and B, I don't know. I didn't have a second point.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, there we go. I will say though, I know it's not. I saw people like talking like, oh, it's probably just a quick little conversion. Not true. I think like they actually did go like shot by shot and adjust the colors, and you can actually see that in the trailer too for Minus Color. One of the first shots in the trailer you see is from the beginning of the movie where they're on Odo Island and Godzilla like turns his head to look at Koichi in the plane. And every time I've seen it in theaters, that shot is always super, super dark, and you can't really make a whole lot out. But if you look in the trailer, it is clear as day. You can see like every little scale on his face. It is very, very clear. So they did their time for in making Minus One Minus Color. So
that's why this is not a cash grab.
Exactly. Like they actually put the time and effort into it.
It's the same shit with like Mad Max Fury Road. Like when they did their black and white conversion, they like actually put fucking effort into it. They spent money on it to make a good product so that people would buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm curious as to how it's going to be. I know. So the main thing I'm like interested to see is the Ginza attack, because I don't really like how brown Ginza is in that scene. Like it just kind of looks like it looks like every mid 2000s shooter video game is how it looks.
I was gonna say it looks like Orange Mexico from Breaking Bad.
You're not wrong,
like,
Brian.
It's just brown Japan.
Yeah, so I'm curious as to how it's gonna look. We'll see. I'm seeing it Friday, so when this episode comes out, I'll be seeing it. So you might be listening.
I'm definitely seeing it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. We'll get back to you on our next episode, whatever that may be, and we'll tell you all about it.
Not even we know what next episode is going to be.
I have a decent idea, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We'll talk about it.
But hey, that's not even the biggest Minus One news, because guess what, Brian?
What, Dave? I already know.
You do already know, but we're doing this for presentation's sake. We need to hype it up a little bit. I'm sure people already know at this point, but Godzilla Minus One, and this is fucking insane that I'm even able to say this. Godzilla Minus One is the first ever Academy Award nominated Godzilla film, and I went through all 37 movies just to make sure that is correct, and yes, it goddamn is. Minus One is the first ever Academy Award nominated Godzilla film. They got it dropped today. The nominations dropped today as of recording, and it got nominated for Best Visual Effects, which is kind of the one everyone expected it to be nominated for. I know everyone was hoping for Best Picture, but I think, Brian, you and I talked like, no way in hell it was going to be nominated. It would have been cool to see it nominated, but no way in hell was going to get nominated. And I doubt, with everything else that did get nominated, no shot it was going to win. I don't think.
No.
But
I'm going to tell you right now, Oppenheimer is going to sweep.
You think Oppenheimer is going to sweep?
I don't know. There's no way.
Because this past year was a really good year for movies, I feel.
Listen, I hear you, but this is the Oscars. They're going to pick the safest option.
Do you think Oppenheimer's the safest option?
I think Oppenheimer is the safest option.
I don't know.
All right. I mean, we'll see. That's just me. I have a very low opinion of the Oscars. So.
I mean, I don't blame you. I'd think more. It'd be closer to get Killers of the Flower Moon. That's my bet.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen that, so I can't really make a call about that.
Well, you can because it's on Apple TV. I assume you still have a subscription.
Maybe for a few days I do.
Well, you gotta get on that shit then. It is good. Killers of the Flower Moon is very good. For a nearly 4-hour movie, it feels like 2. It just
4 hours.
Brian, it flies by. I was shocked by how much.
Doesn't matter if it flies by. I don't have 4 hours to spend watching.
Fuck, I don't know what to tell you, Brian.
No, it's fine. I can just watch it over a weekend or something.
But yeah, I think Killers is gonna take it, but I don't know. Unfortunately I haven't seen a decent amount of these. I've only really seen Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Oppenheimer. I want to see pretty much everything else except Maestro. I heard Maestro was kind of shit, but everything else I do want to see. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
As for Godzilla being nominated for Best Visual Effects, I think it's gonna be kind of close, honestly, for whatever ends up winning. So the other nominees are The Creator, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, and Napoleon. Napoleon, I don't think is going to take it. I haven't seen Napoleon, but
Napoleon, there's no way.
No. I think Mission Impossible, I don't even remember like any of the effects they did. I mean, I guess the train sequence at the very end was pretty impressive, but like, I don't know. I think it'll be probably down to Creator, Godzilla, and Guardians. It's tough because, like, as much as I want Godzilla to take home an Oscar, I think The Creator has the best chance of winning because, boy, is that movie good looking. Like, it is shocking how good it looks and for how like cheap it was. Which, I mean, you could say the same for Godzilla as well. And it was like a much smaller team, obviously, too. But it's going to be interesting. Yeah. I believe me, if either The Creator or Godzilla take it, I will go home happy. Like if one of those. You
could also argue that just Godzilla being there is a sign that it might win.
That's true, actually. That is very true. Because they
missed the deadline, didn't they?
So they missed the deadline. I think the deadline stuff is like it only
bullshit.
Works.
I know, but
not bullshit. It's only in place for like certain categories. But I don't know. I'm not on the Academy. I should be, but I'm not. So I don't know exactly how the whole deadline process works, but I don't know. We'll see. I think it's like mid-March is when the ceremony is, so we'll get back to you. Again, I mean, we're hoping Godzilla wins. We're pulling for it, but if The Creator takes it, I will not be surprised, and I won't be upset because The Creator is an excellent film, and we stan Gareth Edwards in this household.
Yeah. Also, like, if Godzilla doesn't win, I'm going to be so disappointed in the fan reaction.
I know. I'm actually very proud of the fans because from what I've seen, they have not thrown a shit fit that it wasn't nominated for Best Picture or Best International Feature. So you know what?
Yeah.
Good job, Godzilla fandom. I'm proud of you.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Let's keep it up. Keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah, but all it's gonna take is one angry Reddit post.
I know.
Everyone is gonna dogpile.
Yep, pretty much.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, that's kind of it for news. Again, it's been like a week that nothing else has really happened since.
Also, December, January are usually dead months, anyways.
That's also true. Yeah, I'm actually gonna quickly scroll through the Kaiju United Facebook group because that's where I usually get most of my news. I want to say there was something cool, but nothing like nothing like urgent that we need to talk about, you know. How about, I don't know. I'm really trying here, guys. I got nothing for you. All right.
It's fine. There's nothing. It's
I'm
not
giving
happening.
up. That's it for the news. So without further ado, we're going to turn you over to Brian and David from a week ago, where we got to chat with the wonderfully talented Quazies. So there you go. Enjoy.
Have fun.
Hello, us from the past, which is, I'm pretty sure, how we're doing this. One day I'm gonna get this bit right, I swear to God. But
it's literally the same thing every time.
I know, Dave, but I always get confused. I even, last night when I was, just kind of hanging out in bed, I tried to rehearse exactly what I was gonna say for this bit, and then I forgot. So I guess that one's on me. But one of these days I'm gonna get that bit right. I swear to God, mark my words. But anyways, moving on from me making a fool of myself. Hello, we are with the wonderfully talented Quazies, which I'm actually saying right this time because I've learned right before we started recording that this whole time I've been mispronouncing it. So Quazies.
I just learned it too.
There you go. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I am a digital artist and animator, and I recently just dropped a new Godzilla short called Rodan's Egg, and people seem to really enjoy it. And you guys were nice enough to invite me here to talk a little bit about my stuff, and I'm really excited.
Well, we're really excited. We're really excited to have you on. And I just want to, for the listeners at home, I just want to tell the story of how we actually got you on, because I made a fool of myself again.
Go ahead.
So I had attempted to reach out to you on my personal Instagram, just because I'm not really active on Twitter in general.
Yeah. That's for the best.
Yeah, honestly. So, but unfortunately, for those of you who don't know, Instagram direct messaging, you can only send a single message until the other person accepts your invite to chat, and then you can continue the conversation. Unfortunately, my finger slipped when I was typing out the message, so I provided exactly zero helpful information to you when I first reached out to you. So I'm just going to read it out. I'm going to say, "Hi there. I hope you don't mind me reaching out like this. I'm not all that active on any social media platforms. My name is David, and first things first," and that was the message I sent.
Oh, no.
But shout out to our good pal Jacob Lingle over at Kaiju United, friend of the show. He also reached out to you, spoiler alert, to get you to talk on Kaiju United, but he thankfully put in a good word for me, and here we are. So hooray.
Hooray.
Dave, I have a question.
I have an answer, maybe.
So you screenshotted that, sent it to me. Was it after several minutes of you sweating, panicked, or was it immediately after?
It was after. It wasn't even after several minutes of panic. It was me just being like, "Wow, I'm an idiot.
Nice.
This sucks."
Well, if it makes you feel better, I barely even open Instagram DMs. So I don't know if I would have even saw it at all.
Oh, well, thank God for Jacob then. He's our savior today. Thank you, Jacob.
I wouldn't have seen any, cut off message or anything like that, and I wouldn't have harshly judged you for daring to speak to me.
Oh my God!
You know who did harshly judge him?
Who?
Me and #1 fan of the show, my girlfriend Sam.
Oh, you didn't mention Sam judged me for it too.
And we both laughed at you for about 5 minutes.
Oh.
That's a long time to laugh, Brian. I would be concerned that you're laughing that long.
Yeah, but we laugh, but then we also continue to make fun of you, and then we laugh more.
Okay, I guess that's fair. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Well, let's get rolling because we got a bunch of cool, interesting questions for you. So I'm just going to get right into things. I have to imagine that
since you've kind of started doing these Godzilla shorts, you've seen kind of a pretty major uptick in subscribers and views on your channel. Did you have like any inkling that the short was going to blow up the way it did? Like, was it going to be like a one-off, or were you always intending to make more Godzilla shorts?
That's a very good question. So, when I made that first one, Godzilla Jr. Makes a Burger, which I know is a mouthful of a title.
But it's a great title.
I kind of, yeah. I mean, it kind of catches your eye. Like, what do you? Okay,
it
I mean,
definitely
that's what
caught
he does,
my
I guess.
eye. I'm like, oh, okay. I need to see this. This seems very pertinent information that I need to have.
When I made that, I literally expected nobody to watch it because it was so different and completely unrelated to my. I mean, TF2 and Godzilla literally have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. So I thought my, previous subscribers might even be a little upset with me because it's just out of nowhere. It has nothing to do with what I was working on before. But to my surprise, that is now the second most viewed video on my channel. I think it's almost to 6 million views right now.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And like that was 100% a one shot. Not going to make any more, just to show my love for little Godzilla because I just adore him. He's the cutest little thing ever. But people went crazy about it. So I was like, oh crap, I need to make more. I need to make more Godzilla stuff right now. So I did. And I'm they're really sorry if I'm stumbling over my words a little bit.
It's okay. It happens to us all the time.
Bring out a passion for my artwork that I love my Lil Puta series. That's the first thing I made. But the Godzilla ones, I love drawing nature, and I love drawing monsters and cute little guys and all that stuff. And there's all so much you can do with Godzilla. And yeah, it was not planned whatsoever. No plans whatsoever. One shot. Didn't think anyone was gonna watch it. Thought they were gonna be upset with me, but nope. Everyone loves it. So it really blew my mind. I've never experienced anything like that over the internet, like being so accepted and everyone in the Godzilla community, being so excited every time I upload. It's like it's the best thing ever. I love it. I
mean, I'm speaking from experience here. Like when I saw Anguirus Vacation drop my subscription box, I don't think I've like dropped what I was doing faster than I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. I didn't know this was ever to come. This is another one was coming out. I need to watch this right now. So yeah,
I think that was the first one I watched. You sent it to me, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
It's so good. But yeah, like
it's so good.
You're right on them. I mean, obviously you're right on the money. You're the one who created these things. So I don't know why I'm like explaining your own work to you. But yeah, no, like everything is so well crafted. And you mentioned all the nature stuff. Like I didn't even like really piece it together in my mind that like, yeah, all like the backgrounds and the environments are just gorgeous. I don't know why I never like took note of, like, I noticed it, but I never like really, it never really clicked in my head until you just mentioned that. Like, yeah, you have like made Monster Island like a tropical paradise, like capital P paradise. It is gorgeous, and that's I just the art style in general, I think, is what has captured a lot of people's imagination with the shorts so far. But yeah,
I think your version of Monster Island is my canon version of Monster Island in my head.
Well, glad to hear that.
Because like specifically with Rodan's egg, I like appreciated it a lot. Like you showed off a lot of the island with Rodan flying around and taking notes on how to be a mother.
that was one of the big goals with the most recent one, was to make it a little bit more like the scope of the environment's a tad more grand than the last ones, because he's flying around and stuff. You gotta show off the mountains and the oceans and all that cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like a lot. It's a lot bigger than it looks. I feel because like I think in one of the intermissions you mentioned that like Baragon is like he likes to explore the island. It's like he's a giant monster. How much of this island can there possibly be to explore for him? It must be a really, really enormous island. But
It's got to be pretty big,
Yeah.
considering how many of them are currently living there.
Yeah, I guess
it's
so.
got to be a pretty darn big place.
Yeah.
What's the rent prices for Monster Island?
I imagine it's not great considering Anguirus has his bills piling up in his
that's
little
true.
mailbox.
That's very true. Well, actually,
I feel like I identify the most with him.
I can kind of lead into my next question with this in a little bit because you mentioned that. But so every new short you've done has kind of added more lore to this sort of quasi-verse, whether that be something like as unassuming as King Caesar owning real estate, or Biollante being viewed as like an abomination by the other inhabitants, or and this one's really funny. I really liked this edition. Like Destroya being a literal mob boss. Do you have like an overall plan for the direction of these shorts, or are you just kind of making it up as you go? I don't know if that's like
I'd say it's half and half.
half and half. Okay,
It's definitely half and half because with the most recent one, I'd say that's probably the most more serious than the other ones. Not that it's not funny and sweet, but that's more of like you're following a pretty straightforward narrative. But yeah, I mean, I have ideas in my head for episodes and eventual like story beats, especially with you mentioned Biollante, which I'm waiting to give her episode until I know I can do her character animation true justice, because she seems like hell to animate, to be honest.
yeah.
She seems like absolute hell to animate, so I'm waiting until I'm a lot better to approach her sad little story she has going on. But yeah, there's definitely some plans being made with the little Easter eggs, and you mentioned King Caesar. There's some minor Easter eggs in the most recent one where you see that he's running for mayor against Mothra. So maybe we'll do a little election episode in the future too.
God, that'd be so cool.
It is an election year.
That is an election year. You're so right. I didn't even put that
maybe
together.
It'll be fun and topical.
Oh my God.
I don't think elections are very fun in my opinion.
No, not
No,
really.
they're not. I've been dreading this entire year.
Me too.
Yeah, no, God, not looking forward to November. That's for sure. But I'm glad you specifically mentioned Biollante, because that's kind of the one I'm like most looking forward to, because I think in like the intermission put you mentioned like, oh, it makes her inability to communicate like makes it hard for anyone to be friends with her. I'm like, that's so sad. I need to see a story with that.
Sad, poor,
so that's the one I'm like
monster.
chomping at the bit to like really dig into. But I am a patient person, so you take all the time you need to give Biollante her own episode. Go for it.
Yeah, I can see it perfectly in my head. It's just translating what I see perfectly in my head. I can already see, like, I want that episode to be absolute peak. Like, I want it to be the best of all of them if I'm able to make it. Like, because I love Biollante, and I feel like the characterization of a human soul trapped in a monster isn't quite explored in the comics or some of her more recent appearances. No one likes to explore that aspect of her being, a human trapped in a monster's body, which I think is horrifying and sad, and I would love to explore that in her episode. So hopefully it'll be sooner than later, but no promises.
That's interesting because, like, now that you mention it, I don't think like anything since Godzilla versus Biollante has gone into the fact that she has a
Exactly.
human soul
Exactly.
residing in her. Like, I don't think the
Exactly.
comics did. Maybe the supplementary material for the Polygon trilogy did, but like none of that's been translated into English, so I have no idea if that's the case or not. But yeah, no, all right, well. You'll basically be the first since 1989 to do anything with that with that particular thread. So even more reason to look forward to it.
I am hoping that it will be absolute peak. I'm hoping it'll be the best.
I have very lofty expectations. So if it's not peak, I'm going to be very disappointed. Just so you know.
You can leave a
They're all
dislike.
peak.
Okay?
They're all peak.
I agree.
I mean, I really, really liked how you animate Godzilla. So anytime he shows up, I'm happy.
I'm getting better with him.
I love how everyone else in your shorts is just so goofy, but he's just still like a hard ass.
Well, like, I love myself a grumpy old man Godzilla.
It's the best version of Godzilla.
Interpretation of Godzilla is when he's a grumpy hard ass. That's my favorite.
You know, that's actually kind of something that I really, really enjoy about the shorts, because like I feel like the fandom kind of has an idea of what a monster's personality is, but it's like you take that and you distill it down to like a very like presentable form, and then you just put it in like a Saturday morning cartoon like animation style, and it all like fits together really well. Like all these monsters with their very specific personalities, and it just works like extremely well. I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try, and it can be a little hard sometimes deciding, like you have to give them, you know, a little bit more personality than in their movies, because especially the bad guys, you know, because even in their older films, you know, they're evil, but you know, they're not cracking jokes or anything like that. So you gotta interpret them a little differently for a setting where they are our main characters, and you know, there's no humans explaining, you know, what they're doing or anything like that.
Yeah, the one that really just came to mind right now, I don't know why, was Space Godzilla #1 Uncle. That was so good. That was so good.
I feel like Space Godzilla has been like the breakout character from these shorts.
He has become an absolute meme, that's for sure. I can never escape him. I think I won't be remembered for my grandchildren, but for shitty Uncle Space Godzilla.
Well, I think
instead.
you sort of did that to yourself with the face he makes in the bar when he's looking at Titanosaurus.
Yes.
I think that's the that's the one thing that elevated him to like that meme status, is that one single expression.
I never expected it at all, because it was such like a one-off joke. Like, I guess the joke there is that you expect him to be like a horrible asshole, but he's actually like, okay, you know, like, yeah, Space G, I cannot escape him whatsoever. So he's probably next up for his own episode. I'd say he's probably next on the chopping block.
I like the sound of that.
I think he's my favorite so far. So I'm besides regular Godzilla, I'm in the Uncle Space Godzilla camp, because I never even thought about Space Godzilla until I saw him in that short, and I'm like, it just put him in a new light, and he's just now like I don't like the movie that he's from, but I like your take on him a lot.
Yeah, he's a mess. He has some problems he's gonna have to work through.
Oh yeah.
Character development.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. He might. I don't think Space G's the type of guy to go get some therapy.
He's not a very redeemable character.
Space G's character arc should be that he has like a midlife crisis, but he like he like cleans himself up at the end.
I don't know. I feel like he's been in a midlife crisis it seems like he's been in a midlife crisis for a couple years now. I don't know if he's going to get himself out of that. That's just me.
Or we just don't know what midlife crisis looks like for him.
True.
I mean, the creator
true.
is right here.
That's
we could ask.
Yeah.
Well,
So what does a midlife crisis look for a kaiju? What are your thoughts on this?
Like people buy like motorcycles and nice cars, but what do giant monsters do?
I mean, it seems like he's spending a little too much time at the bar trying to pick up anyone who just looks at him or makes eye contact. He thinks he's the coolest guy around, like his little bio says. He thinks he's a good-looking guy and whatnot. Midlife crisis, I don't know. He might have just always been like that. He might have just always.
I can see that.
He might have always just been a horrible. I mean, I guess my characterization of him, you know, the first thing he does in Space Godzilla when he comes to Earth, his first order of business is to immediately start bullying a toddler, which is, you know, where like my interpretation, like this guy is a schlub asshole. And I don't know if he's gonna be able to clean up his act or not, because how does a character like Space Godzilla become a respectable individual? I don't think it's possible.
You have the kid bully him, and then it gives him life perspective.
No.
Ever bully him?
Godzilla Jr. in this universe would never bully anyone. He is the perfect cinnamon roll.
That's fair.
I don't think he's capable of bullying.
He's not. He's too pure of heart. I refuse to believe he's capable of bullying anyone. I want to use that to segue into the next question, because I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is. I think you may have mentioned it on Twitter before, but who is your favorite character to animate?
Oh gosh. Oh geez. That's really hard. That's a really good question. I mean, I love Junior because I love animating, you know, cute little guys. That's my whole thing. I there's nothing more satisfying than, you know, working all night long and then you can look back and look at the animation and say, look how cute he is. I did a good job. But Junior, he's up there. I also really enjoyed animating Final Wars Gigan, even though that was a couple months ago now. Just because he's very, you know, flashy, flamboyant, you know, he thinks he's hot shit, which those are the most fun characters to animate, characters who are absolutely full of themselves. So Junior, Final Wars Gigan. I mean, I love my sweet little Megalon too.
I love
really,
Megalon.
really, really good question. It probably.
I love how Megalon
Junior's
is an
probably
idiot. Sorry.
Go right ahead.
I said I love how Megalon is just an idiot.
He is. I mean, he is. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I always felt so bad for Megalon. I know he's a bad guy. You know, I know he probably killed thousands of people and whatnot, but he just seems like he doesn't quite know what's going on most of the time.
He's just along for the ride, basically.
He is. He really is.
He's just vibing.
So I missed it. Did you give like a definitive answer, or was just those
sorry,
three in general?
sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm really bad with rambling.
You're fine.
I'm gonna go with Junior.
I'm
gonna go with Junior.
Yep. So I did know the answer. A, which honestly I can't blame you. I can't tell you how many times I'll just like scan through the shorts and just play all the clips of Junior and just be like, it's such a cleansing experience. Like if I've had a bad day, I'll just watch all the clips of Junior and be like, I feel better now. This is good. I don't know.
That's the goal.
He's just like, especially in Rodan's egg, like, and it kind of happened in the Anguirus Vacation video too. Like when Rodan lands and Junior sees him, and he is just so thrilled to see Rodan, and he goes up to him, and he's like purring. I'm like, dude, come on. Come on, this is like, I can't, this is too much for me. This is too goddamn cute. I love it. It's so good.
Thank you.
Speaking of cute drawn stuff, my question I wanted to ask was, I feel like a lot of animators in the Godzilla fandom stick to either straight parody or comedy, or just big flashy fight scenes whereas you've got a more wholesome slice of life approach. Obviously this is our brain for you, but were you ever worried how the larger fandom would react to something done in this style?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Because
I've been criticized
we know
for it.
Godzilla fans, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's some Godzilla purists, in our fan base who do not like when the characters interpreted in lighthearted ways, which in some ways I can understand, but I mean, he's almost 70 years old. We can interpret him however we want to at this point, I think. But yeah, I mean, when I first was scoping out what the online animation scene looked like, I was very surprised to find there wasn't much happening. I've seen some of the funny 3D stuff. I think their channel's called Vrano.
Oh, I love Vrano. Vrano's great.
Where it's like it's parody, it's funny, but that's all. It's kind of like meme stuff, not quite narrative stuff happening. There wasn't really any like narrative or like I don't like you guys said Saturday morning cartoon style stuff going on, and not much happening in the fan animation scene at all. Like most of what I found was really bizarre, like YouTube AI generated YouTube kids stuff.
Oh god.
And I was like, this is all that's happening over here.
Yeah, it's kind of
really
funny now that you say it. Like, I feel like I've like there is like a distinct lack of like fan made projects for Godzilla stuff. I don't know if it's for whatever reason, but like when it comes to animation and stuff, I feel like it's just not as big as like other big fandoms.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Not too much going on.
Yeah, because like plenty of other fandoms have like huge animation subcommunities within them, and like not
like, just
really the case for
Wars,
Godzilla.
like, all the fan films for Star Wars, like there's a billion of them, but for Godzilla, it really doesn't seem like there's that much.
I mean, comparing Godzilla to something like Star Wars, that's big. Like Star Wars is literally one of the biggest franchises in existence.
It's big, but I also don't think it's like an impossible comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of the creativity of the fandom, like I think they're pretty equal.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
like the only reason why Star Wars might seem like not an apt comparison is just because it has such mass market appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Godzilla is still kind of breaking into it. Let's move away from Godzilla a little bit. So I live deep in Bigfoot territory, and in general, the two of us love cryptids. So I needed to ask about the untitled cryptid project you've teased.
Oh my gosh, you know about that?
Dave knows about this and has told me a little bit about it.
I was not expecting that question.
Featuring the man himself, as well as Mothman and the Loveland Frog. Can you talk about that at all? What's going on with it, the core concept, etc.?
So that is in such early planning. Like, there's no script, there's nothing like that. There's only concept art. But I'm kind of saving my original series, which is what my plans for that is. I'm kind of saving it until I've improved my animation a bit, and it's very expensive to make an original cartoon. You have to hire voice actors if you want your own soundtrack, all that kind of stuff, and I'm not quite playing with that kind of budget yet. But I love cryptids. I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's called Harry and the Hendersons. but it's about a Bigfoot who comes to live with a family. And I watched that probably like 10,000 times as a child. And it just made me become absolutely obsessed with cryptids and Bigfoot. And I just thought, what a great concept for a series of the different cryptids coming together and trying to survive in this world where more and more of our national parks are, less and less space is left for them.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will come to fruition within, I mean, I know it sounds like a lot, but like the next 5 years, because it takes so much work to get an original concept and, series, multiple episodes. It's going to take a long time, but I feel really, really confident in, that story concept. And I think it might catch the eye of, the people who are currently watching the Godzilla stuff. Not that, Bigfoot has that much to do with Godzilla, but they're both mythical creatures, although that depends if you believe Bigfoot or not.
We do.
I mean,
I low-key do, not gonna lie. I low-key do.
Live in Washington, I have to believe in it.
I mean, listen, part one, we have, it's not even a running joke. It's just an actual fact of the show that we have a very, very loose definition of the term kaiju. So
Yeah.
we are 100% like, yeah, Bigfoot's a kaiju. Why not?
Yeah.
He's pretty tall.
He's a
He's pretty
strange
big.
beast by definition. That
Yeah.
makes him a kaiju.
Yeah.
I mean, if we say that dinosaurs are kaiju, like, we have to, because there are dinosaurs that are smaller than us.
Exactly.
We would, yeah.
So
We can't be selective.
I would consider a T-Rex to be kaiju.
exactly. Thank you. There's a reason we've covered so much Jurassic Park content on this show.
Would you consider the megalodon to be a cryptid?
Well,
Because there are people who believe they're still around, including me.
I'm gonna say I do not believe he's still around. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think he's still out there. Maybe his smaller cousin is, but I don't think the big guy is still out there. Is he a cryptid? I mean, in the same way the Loch Ness Monster is, I guess. A mysterious underwater creature that we don't know if it's still out there or not. I mean, I can say I don't think they still exist, but there's no way to know for sure. So, I guess he is a cryptid.
We just gotta all go down to Loch Ness together and find out for ourselves. It's the only way to solve this.
We should befriend James Cameron so he can take us to the Marianas Trench.
That's a good question. Why hasn't he done that?
I'll pass on that one.
Apparently, the reason he hasn't gone back down is because he says it's terrifying.
Because he saw the Meg.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
why.
Submarine sounds like a nightmare.
I mean, I wouldn't go down at all anymore after the Titan thing.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
Absolutely not. You think I'm gonna entrust a private company to protect my life?
Not in a
Absolutely
million
not.
years.
No. About the cryptid thing though, I don't know if you watch like a lot of YouTube videos for cryptids, but there's a channel called Roanoke Tales, and he has like a lot of awesome like cryptid stuff in there.
I think
So
do they do like analyzations of different monsters and stuff like that? Like
in movies and stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just watched one of those the other day. It was some weird. I just saw the title. It was something crazy like giant underwater monster who eats people or something like that, and I was like, what the hell is this about? And
Yeah.
I kind of went down the rabbit hole of. I mean, I can sit and watch YouTube videos about movies I'll never watch or care about all day long. That's my guilty pleasure, is just watching random, summaries because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
only so much time in the day, and sometimes
I
I
do
just
that.
want to see the cool monster, you know?
I do that stuff at work. I listen to his videos all the time. He just talks about like some obscure horror movie I've never seen.
Listen, one of my
Talks
favorite
about
things
the
to do
monster.
when I like get high is just watch multiple hour long videos, lore videos about Resident Evil. That's what I do.
But
Oh
It's
gosh.
do you ever get through
fantastic.
do you ever get through like the 6 hour Call of Duty Zombies
Oh, I
lore
totally
video?
forgot
That is,
about that video. No, I watched like half an hour of it and forgot it
it's
existed.
it started and you were just like, Brian, what is this? And it's just about like squid gods from
Yeah,
the sea or some
just
shit.
insane stuff. My goodness. All right.
Yeah.
We're getting
That's off
so off
topic.
track right now. My goodness. I
This-
love it though.
this is what our
I'm
show
enjoying
is,
it.
though.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, no, this is just how chaotic our show is normally. This isn't just when we have interviews. Like when we're reviewing like a movie or something, it's just as insane as it is right now. So
I
this
understand
is par for the
100%.
course.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it is pretty fair for the course. It's
But-
what makes it fun, though.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we have come to probably the most important question
Ooh.
of the interview, though. This is one that we ask every single guest who comes on the
I
show.
pioneered it.
Yes,
Okay.
Brian was the one who
Mine.
came up with it originally. But everyone gets asked this. Sometimes people are like, they got to think about it really hard. Our last guest actually was like, didn't even hesitate.
Well, now
had
I'm
his answer,
scared.
had his answer ready right off the bat. What, Quazies, is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Was it worth all the buildup we did?
You were scaring me, but now I'm okay. Now I'm okay. Now I'm comforted. Probably, I mean, not to be basic, but I love me a good Triceratops.
What's
I
it?
I just love me a good Triceratops, a cute little Land Before Time. What's the cute little Triceratops name in that?
Oh, I don't remember, but I should.
Is her? It starts with an S.
Is it
I
just
remember
Sarah? Like Sarah?
Sarah, yes. She's
It
such a little
is.
asshole, but I still love her.
It's
Yeah,
really funny you mentioned that because I don't know if you're familiar with Donnie Winter, his series Growing Up with Godzilla, but we had him on a couple of months ago, and when we asked him that, he answered with Triceratops for that exact same reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That's what I was
you
saying.
can
I was
know.
like, isn't that an answer we've heard before? That's wow, that's the first time.
Donnie, I'm supposed to talk with him in a couple weeks. I
Oh,
think.
very nice. Donnie's great. You'll,
Yeah.
Oh,
you'll,
hell yeah.
you'll love him.
I'm
We
excited.
should try to get him back on the show sometime.
I know. But yeah, Triceratops, very, very good answer. No, it doesn't matter if it's basic or not. We've had people come on and say T-Rex. Who cares? It's a dinosaur. It's
Yeah.
it's all
T-Rex
cool.
was probably my second. I mean, don't know too much about, you know, I know a lot of Godzilla and paleontology, you know, interests crosses over because big lizards and everything. But I'm not too educated on, you know, all the different types of dinosaurs. So but I know T-Rex and Triceratops and long neck, whatever those
Long
are
neck.
called.
Hey,
There
you know
are
what?
multiple kinds of long necks.
We don't gatekeep dinosaurs. You can
don't.
answer whatever you want.
Thank you.
But that's actually
And if I had a list of every long neck dinosaur, we'd be here forever.
God,
Yeah.
that'd be that. We could just do a whole episode on list of every sauropod dinosaur that ever existed. There we go. That's an episode for
Jurassic World Evolution 2 sauropod tier list.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. I think if Critical made it, I might watch it.
If Charlie ranked best,
Every
best
Charlie is
uh,
one of
dinosaur.
us. Charlie's one of us. He's a Godzilla fan.
He is? I didn't know
He
that.
is. Yeah, he said growing up his favorite movie was like Rodan.
Really? Rodan
Yeah.
was his favorite? That's a bizarre choice.
I
I'd say.
know. I had
It's-
I mean,
stumbled
a
pretty
Marvel
upon.
wild.
movie. That's kind of out of nowhere for for Charlie. I don't know. I never really expected that.
Yeah, I had stumbled upon
his
a
Godzilla Minus
stream.
One review.
I stumbled upon a stream of his the other day that he was just like watching a tournament for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. I'm like,
Oh
what?
yeah, I saw that.
What is happening right now? I was so confused. I had to click on it just to like see what was going on. I'm like, oh, yeah, he is just commentating over a Save the Earth tournament. That's pretty sick, but all right. But,
It was so funny to hear the word Space Godzilla come out of his mouth. I was cracking up. I never expect him. I never expect him to say those monsters' names.
Like every time he says anything that I like know that I'm like familiar with,
you got to do like a double take.
I make like because he's so like he is like the most famous internet person probably. So it's just like weird, you know.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone over it in our heads, but it seems that pretty much almost close to all of the characters from the Godzilla canon have appeared in some capacity in your shorts, whether that be in like a main or like a supporting role or just, a cameo. Obviously some like Mogera don't really fit in to live on Monster Island.
Oh, he'll show up.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind then.
McKinney Kong, he'll be up in there too.
Oh, okay.
I can't promise they won't be broken in pieces, in the bottom of a ditch. I can't promise they'll, be walking around or anything like that.
Well, unfortunately, you answered the second part of my question, sort of, but we still got the first one. So first off, who are you most excited to bring to life in the future? And again, that could be a character you haven't animated yet, like Megaguirus, or a character we've seen in the background before. When I wrote this question, I put Biollante. Obviously, you already have plans for Biollante in the future.
Yes, big plans.
And then the part two of that was, could we eventually see you branch out into other properties? And I don't, not necessarily like Ultraman or Gamera, because that would be way too complicated, I feel. But other Toho films like War of the Gargantuas or Dagora or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll put, little Easter eggs like that. But I'm mostly focusing on including, characters where Godzilla is the main character or featured in the movie that they appear in. Just so it's kind of kept as a, everyone says, please add Gamera, please add Ultraman. And I'm like, I'm not qualified to do that, y'all. I don't know enough about those guys to put them in. So, yeah, mostly focusing on Godzilla only, characters and villains. Maybe I'll put a little, occasional reference stuff like that. But I'm trying to not make it too complicated, too crazy. I'll put the little Easter eggs and stuff like that just for people with, an eye where they're looking for that. They can point at the screen and say, oh my God. But mostly just focusing on Godzilla only kaiju right now.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But hey, Mechanicong, he's not exactly a Godzilla kaiju. He's more of a Kong kaiju.
True.
Which also,
true.
I keep realizing, like, we haven't seen Kong at all in these shorts. When, any idea when Kong himself is showing up?
So, I had an idea. Here's the thing. You don't know how many kids I've got in my comments saying, "Where's King Kong? Where's King Kong?" That's probably it's nonstop. And I'm not. I appreciate the history of the character. I can't say I'm the biggest King Kong fan. I mean, I really like the Peter Jackson movie. Obviously, I've seen him in all the MonsterVerse movies. I've seen his original film. But I thought it would be funny if I just like included like have Toho Kong just like sticking his face out of some bushes somewhere just because like make it like weird and creepy because he's so weird and creepy looking, like just as a one-off joke.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny, like, everyone's asking for Kong and then they just get
Just have like a
the
one
ugly,
cameo.
shitty
Yeah.
Kong instead.
And never mention it
Just
again.
troll people.
You know what? I'm
So
all
maybe
for that.
he'll show up.
That's a great idea. I like that a lot, actually.
I don't think the kids will quite know. I don't think they'll know who that is though. So they might just end up being scared instead.
Who is that?
Who is that ugly man?
All right, we got pretty much just one more, but we'll see how it goes. This is kind of a nerdy one, but
Okay.
I especially now that Rodan's egg has dropped, which we haven't even talked much about Rodan's egg at all. So it's been just general questions. What the hell are we doing, Brian? We're terrible interviewers. But
I mean, we kind of talked about a little bit on the landscape stuff.
That's true. But a friend of mine who I showed this to, because again, I've been, since Rodan's egg came out, I've been like sharing this with all my friends, like, you got to watch this. This is incredible. But one of my friends who I sent it to had pointed out your downright excellent use of sound effects. I'm sure a big part of it is the way you animate the characters with their like expressions, but it really does seem that you always seem to like perfectly like choose the perfect sound effect to use in any given scenario. I mean, I didn't think in a million years I'd ever hear someone make a kaiju snore and being like, yep, that's exactly what I would have expected that to sound like. So I like what goes into like you choosing the sound effects for these shorts? Like how much time and effort does it take to like track down the exact sound effect that you need for any given like scenario?
Well, I'll start off by saying Rodan's egg is the first ever video where I had help, and the help was with the sound effects.
Oh, well,
so Toku Society, which you can find on YouTube and Twitter, did all of the sound effects. I did some minor editing afterwards, but all of the sound effects for Rodan's egg are credited to them, and they did an excellent job. Obviously, you know, I gave them, you know, reference from the previous shorts of how we're, you know, trying to mix their classic sounds with you know, like making them cartoonish, and like you said with the snoring. And it can be very difficult sometimes finding that right sound effect because there's only so much you have to work with. Which is why like we don't even just use just the movie stuff, you know, we dip into the Godzilla games too, just so we can try and get as many different noises to come out of them as possible. But there are times where, you know, with the previous episodes, the sound effects are pretty difficult. I mean, not that it's more difficult than animating, but finding that perfect sound and trying to find something that isn't too crunchy because, you know, they're older films and you're trying to, you know, have the audio be a little bit more clear. Especially with Junior, half of his sounds aren't even usable because you could hear the Space Godzilla noise in the background, like the noises Crystal makes. So you can't even like use half of the sounds he makes because you can't get anything out of it because there's no rip of those sounds anywhere as far as I know. The sound effects, they're a whole mess. They're a whole mess, and that's why I had to ask for help because, you know, animating itself is so tedious and takes so long. And I realized if I was going to continue doing this as my career, I needed to ask for help or else I'd end up going crazy. Like if I had to do the sound effects for Rodan's egg after that crazy crunch I had at the end, I might have lost my damn mind. It would have been too much to handle.
Well,
yeah, I mean, just watching the short and seeing how much effort, like specifically with like Rodan's egg, like I noticed like how much effort was put into the animation, and then thinking on top of that all of the sound mixing and like the
all
sound
of that has
editing
to
and
be
all
done
that.
as well. Yeah.
Like, oh my god, like just the like don't I like how long would you say it like it took from start to finish to make Rodan's egg? Because they look like it is like of extreme quality. It must have taken like a super long time just to get it all done.
Well, let me pull up my Patreon post and I can go back. I have to do storyboarding first, which is not, that's not animating. That's just, the point of reference for the animation. And all of that has to be done before animation even begins. So it can get a little crazy. Yeah, going back and looking at my Patreon, the first storyboard bits were posted 4 months ago. So
damn,
that was probably about a 3-month project, I'd say. It was a lot.
Was that the longest turnaround for any of these?
For the Godzilla ones, yes, that's the longest. Not for my longest video, which is Putis Goes Missing from the other series. That was hell. That was a almost 30-minute long video, and I got myself into something way too long and way too ambitious for my skill set. And that took my whole summer away last year, which is what I'm trying to avoid this year.
Jesus.
Well,
damn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Now that you have help with at least the sound effects department, you hopefully the next, just in all future animation will hopefully go a little smoother for you.
That I'm really trying to make it so, I end up getting into these crunch sessions that are just way too intense and, not good for your brain. So I'm trying to, especially with this year, I'm trying to schedule things ahead of time just so I don't end up, hurting my brain or my body, because animation, you have to sit still for 12 hours straight. That's all you're doing all day long, is just sitting and drawing all day long and trying to get to a certain point, and at the end of the day you only walk away with like 30 seconds of footage. So it's a lot. It is definitely, animation is not for everyone. When people want a job in art, I say look at the other ones before animation, because you need to have strong willpower to approach it.
That's funny you say that. My girlfriend is a bit of an artist, and she always tells me her mom told her to like try animation or something along those lines, and she was like, no.
No.
I don't blame her. It's definitely not for everyone. It takes a certain type of person, because you're gonna be sitting there for months, and it can be hard. It can be very hard.
Yeah.
Well, we are for one.
Oh my, that's what that is. Sorry.
Well, we for one are glad that you stuck it out, and we're looking forward to whatever comes next, be that more Putis or more Godzilla. So
I want my mess, my number one uncle mess, Space Godzilla.
Well, you'll be glad to see that. The plan is, I submitted an application for it, but we'll see if it gets accepted or not. It might not. I don't know. But I'm hoping to do a panel at G-Fest this year, and if they say yes, I don't know. I have no idea. They might say hell no. But if they say yes, then the plan is for the Space Godzilla episode to premiere at that panel.
All right. Well, now I gotta go to G-Fest.
The working title for it right now is Space Godzilla's Average Week. And, kind of a misleading title, because I don't think it will be an average week.
I don't think it's going to be an average week either, no. Hey, we got our first Talking Toku scoop. Let's go.
Yeah,
Good
we
job.
did.
Good job.
Really
We did
is
it.
one of the first.
only took
Oh, yeah.
only took 3 years, but we did it.
Oh god, it's been 3 years.
Unfortunately. But all right, we're starting to wrap up. We just got basically just one more question. And Brian got mad that he saw this question. Most not because of the question itself, but the way I word the question. And the way I word so we have a segment on the show. It's just about like what you've been checking out recently. But when I first drafted the show way back when, 3 years ago, I wanted to make it like the name of the segment be as needlessly complicated as possible. So the segment is an acronym. It's Wink Takecorn, which stands for What New Cool Kaiju Thing Are You Checking Out Right Now? So Quazies, what new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now? And again, as we've said before, like our definition of kaiju is very, very loose. So, you know, we've talked about Jurassic Park and stuff on like that. So it can be anything kaiju adjacent as well.
Well, I finished up Monarch a couple days ago, as most people were, and pretty solid series, I'd say. You know, pretty cool action and whatnot, and I hope they get the chance to make more. And that was enjoyable overall. I mean, they aren't new, but I rewatched Rodan recently because I love that movie. I feel like it's a little overlooked compared to, you know, Godzilla and Mothra, which I understand. But I adore that movie, and the ending is just so bittersweet. And I also rewatched The Return of Godzilla, and that was a lot of fun. Definitely, I haven't watched that one in a while, and I forgot how different he looks in that compared to the rest of the Heisei movies. It's really strange to see, but especially with how iconic that Heisei design is, to see that first draft. But that was a lot of fun.
Did you watch that like right after Ken Satsuma died? Because I just recently watched that for that reason as well.
Yeah, I mean, I might cry if I talk too much about
okay.
it. But
don't feel pressured to then.
yeah. I even when you just said his name, I got a little misty eyed.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
It's okay. It's okay.
Dave has that effect on people.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
But yeah, new stuff. I mean, I guess the only technically new thing I watched was Monarch, and I guess Gamer Rebirth isn't new anymore either. So, but
it's
I watched
fine.
that.
Again, the new part is just so it sounds funny in the name. I mean, I just watched Q, the Winged Terror, I think it's called, which is like a movie from the 80s, and I'm going to talk about that later when we do the show proper. So like it doesn't matter the timing of it. It really it doesn't have to be new. It's fine. But no, that's good. We just finished Monarch 2. We're actually as soon as we're done with this talking to you, we're going to be recording our episode on Monarch, which will be we'll see how that goes.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
But, yeah.
I have a whole bunch of notes.
What are your feelings on it?
We liked it overall.
Not to spoil your upcoming segment, but
no, you're
I'd be
good.
interested in
I mean, the episode I think is going to come out right before yours, so it's not really a spoiler. It's we're kind of doing things out of order, but overall we liked it. I think I don't think Brian and I really talked about it too much. In private, we're probably going to save most of the thoughts we had on it for the show, but I think overall we both liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, if I was gonna score it, I'd probably give it like 7.5.
I was gonna say 7
10.
exactly.
I really like it. Like Dave and I have not really been super jazzed about most of the MonsterVerse stuff that comes out, but like
very fair.
I really liked this show, and I liked the angle it was coming in at. and I just like a good mystery and like kind of like globe-trotting kind of story.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like right up my alley. I had a really good time with it. And I hope that they get to make another season because I don't know, like show was fun and I like the characters and they all mostly survived. So
Mostly.
yeah.
I mean, they can't leave my man Kurt Russell back there. They gotta go get
God, no. They
him. They gotta
it's
go
criminal
get him.
to kill off Kurt Russell. They would never. They would never.
Oh, hey, you know what? If he survived down there, if he survived the, falling part, then I mean he'll be there next time they go down there.
Whenever,
It'll be
whenever that'll be.
120 by the time they get him.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Poor guy.
By the time Apex goes down there again, then he might be there.
yeah, I know. All right. Well, we are at about a little over an hour, so I think we're gonna wrap things up. If I don't have any more questions. Brian, do you have any more questions?
No, but I have a statement.
Is it the
Here
statement right there at the bottom there?
It is the statement right there
Okay.
at the
No,
bottom.
I was gonna get to that. Don't worry. But yeah, so you may have seen it when you first joined our Discord server here. We were kind of talking about it. Now that you have been on the show, we will officially bequeath upon you the title of friend of the show. So congratulations. You now.
It's a true honor.
Hooray.
I'm
I don't know
gonna
if you
get that
hear
on
it.
plaque.
But I'm clapping.
We should Brian, we should get shirts made. I know we haven't gotten our own shirts made, but we should get shirts made for that have the logo on the front and then friend of the show on the back to give out to people.
Yeah.
I'll take one.
I agree.
I'll do some free advertising.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Hey, you know what? If we end up going to G-Fest this year, we will absolutely have shirts made.
I think yeah, if we do go to G-Fest, I think we're going to have shirts. I went to All Monsters Attack last year, and we have stickers of our logo that I was going to give out. And I got to the airport, and I was waiting for my plane, and it hit me like, fuck, I forgot the stickers on the counter.
No.
I'm like, and then I was
That's
talking
the
to people at the convention too, like, oh yeah, I have this podcast called Talking Toku. I was supposed to bring stickers. I would give you a sticker if I had any, but oh well, that's I'm stupid. I'm too stupid to remember it. So, but G Fest, if it happens, we'll have some stuff. I mean, I still have the hotel room booked for G Fest before either Brian or myself were talking about moving. Like we had already half committed to it. We'll see what happens, come July. But if we go, we'll have some Talking Toku stuff, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, G-Fest, problems aside, it was my first year last year.
Oh, was it? Nice.
It was a very, I think it kind of like saved my brain a little bit because when, like the kids and stuff would come up and talk to me, it was like, wow, this is crazy.
Aww.
This is crazy to be talking to these people, in person because you just feel so disconnected I feel disconnected from the internet. I guess because I've just been doing YouTube for a little bit now. It doesn't feel like real, real emotion, real interaction. So, having like a little kid walk up to me and say, "Oh my God, I love your videos." It's like, wow, this is the best thing ever.
Oh, that's so
I have to go
wholesome.
back.
I love that.
I have to go back.
All right. Well, hey, hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you guys do go this year, hit me up and we can meet up or something.
Absolutely. I mean, I know Jacob will be going and he'll do a big Kaiju United hangout sesh. So
Nice.
And then all the other stuff throughout the weekend. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll definitely keep you in the loop for sure. But again, I think
thank you so much for talking to me. And
yeah,
this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So thank you for helping me train.
Oh well, we are happy to, and as a now official friend of the show, you are welcome back on at any time. So if there's any like movie you want to review or just general topic you want to discuss, let us know. We're happy to do it.
Hey,
we don't care. We fly by the seat of our pants on this show.
What we should do is we should make a friend of the show, like the friend of the show channel, and then we could just like say what we're doing each week. So if anyone wants to jump in.
Oh, that'd be a good way to do it.
If
actually.
I feel strongly enough to ramble, maybe I'll pop in.
I mean, that's
if I really need to get something off my chest about a movie, maybe I'll pop in.
I mean, that's exactly how.
This movie sucks. I hate it.
That's what I'll do. If y'all want to review Godzilla versus Mothra, the Heisei Godzilla versus Mothra, I'd love to share my opinions.
We should get you on, and then we should also get Donnie on, because Donnie loves Mothra in general, so you guys can butt heads.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
That's a heads up. Don't mention that you hate it when you go on.
So don't mention that's one of my least favorite movies. Don't mention.
We have to hide this episode from Donnie.
Donnie, if you're listening, don't listen to this episode.
Please wipe it from your brain.
All right. Well, Quazies, again, thank you so much for coming on. This was an absolute delight. I feel like I say this all the time, but this time I 100% I mean it. I swear. I think this is my favorite interview we've done so far on the show. This is just such a great.
You really do say that every time.
I do, because every time we do an interview, it's always such a fun time, and I have so much fun doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is always a really good time. Yeah.
But no, this was delightful. So thank you so much for coming on. Before we sign off officially, do you want to shout out your socials and stuff where people can find you?
Quazies on YouTube. That one's pretty obvious. And then my Twitter is Quazies Art. I've got basically everything. I've got TikTok, I've got Instagram, I've got Tumblr. And it's all going to be under Quazies. So if you want to see some of my non-animation art, I do make pretty often, little doodles and stuff like that. You can find all of that on my various different platforms, which I'm on all of them. You can find me on all of them.
All right.
Easy enough.
Short, straight to the point. We like it.
It's always nice when you can get the same username on every platform and you don't have to
I was able to steal it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we were making our Instagram way back in the day, like apparently there was
someone for it.
Yeah, there was another podcast based in like California who had the name Talking Toku, and like they hadn't updated the Instagram in like over a year, and we were just like, man, come on. So we were under Talking Toku official for a while, and then all of a sudden the account disappeared. So I like madly scrambled, like, I'm taking this username, give it to me. This is my username. This is my podcast now.
Oh yeah.
But
that was funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it. We'll all sign off, and we'll hand it back to David and Brian in the future for us, but in the past for you guys, because that's how time works. All right.
Have fun, suckers.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Welcome back. It's us from present day. Well, not really present day.
Hey, we're here.
We recorded this on Tuesday, and you're listening to not
Tuesday,
on Tuesday.
The 23rd.
The 23rd. So if you're not, what?
I don't even know.
Okay, fair enough.
I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, it's the 23rd.
Yeah.
Hello.
So hello, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, we both really did. It was great.
It was very, very interesting hearing about all of her like design, like steps and like her process and shit. Very, very interesting and cool, and getting a bit of a scoop.
A scoop. That was a nice scoop. So if you're going to G-Fest, assuming they can nab a panel for that, because I think I talked to Jacob about it. I think Jacob said like panel applications end in February. I don't know when in February, but he just said February. So hopefully they can get an application in, or maybe they already have by now. I don't know. I haven't actually talked to them since we chatted last week. But I will say they posted a sketch on Instagram the other day of Millennium Gaigan which they said that was one of their favorite characters to animate, which I can't blame them. And it's that something about the sketch like finally clicked in my head, and I kind of annoyed that it didn't click before, and I kind of want to go back and ask him like, was the whole bit with Millennium Gigan, was that like inspired by that sexy Gigan statue that everyone likes to thirst over? Because like that seems such an obvious connection to make, and I'm a little annoyed that that never clicked for me until just yesterday or whenever they posted it.
It probably is.
It probably is, right? Like that's too obvious a connection to make. So I don't know.
I mean, I just forgot about it until you just reminded me about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I forgot it existed, and then something. I think it was the pose that Gigan's making in that sketch. That I'm like, oh wait, hold on a second. It all makes sense now. Maybe maybe later I'll shoot him a message and be like, hey, quick question.
Are you fucking with me? Is this what I think it is?
I almost spit my water out when you said that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brian. But all right, I'm gonna leave a bunch of Quazies stuff down in the description, so go check that stuff out because it's really really delightful. We talked about it during the interview, but like no one else is doing stuff like that in the fandom, and it's really really great to see. And I am looking forward to every single future short they make. So yeah,
yes. I'm also looking forward to the very far off cryptid project.
Oh my god, please! I cannot wait for that. Again, very very far off, but like.
No pressure on finishing it.
Yeah, no.
But, whatever it comes out, 2030, don't care.
Yeah.
I'll watch it and I'll still be just as excited.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, no one. When's the last time you saw any animated thing with like fucking Bigfoot and Mothman and shit like that?
Not often. And
exactly.
If I have, it was probably not very good.
Oh, you know what? This popped up in someone posted this. Did you ever watch the Secret Saturdays, Brian?
No.
Oh fuck, dude, you would love the Secret Saturdays. It was a show on Cartoon Network in like the late 2000s, and I'm gonna butcher the description of this, so I'm just gonna bring up the Wikipedia page so I can actually do it justice. Okay.
Oh, this looks cool.
It was so good, and it only lasted one season, and I was really upset. But yeah, it's just like basically like a team of like super spies but they also have like cryptids involved too. It was really really cool. Like they have a Bigfoot dude, they have a pterodactyl, they have a big Komodo dragon looking thing. It was so cool. And again, it only lasted for a season.
Okay, Dave, but
yeah,
hear me out.
I'm listening.
The main character is literally just, we have Danny Phantom at home.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, but like, so what? So what?
It's just funny.
Great show regardless. Just excellent show. And like the main villain, oh no, there was a second season. Okay. I don't know why I thought there was only one season. I'm sure I watched the both seasons, but I just for some reason thought there was one.
Well, let me tell you what, Dave. If it ever goes on streaming, I'll watch it.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, it might be on Max. It was Cartoon Network, so it might be on Max or something. I don't know.
It just says rent or buy on Amazon.
Damn, that sucks. Oh well. All right.
Max being shitty once again.
Shocker. All right, but let's move on to our final segment. How about our what new cool kaiju thing are we checking out? Because we skipped it last week, as we were on a bit of a time crunch.
Yes, we did.
So we had a lot to cover. So Brian, do you want to start us off? Because I know you just finished something very recently that I messaged you about, and then you didn't respond.
Oh, hold on. Where? What thing? What?
You don't even know what I'm talking about. God.
Hold on.
Let's see how long it takes them, boys.
What do you... What?
Are you scrolling up trying to look for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How far?
Let's see. Not too long ago. I think you only mentioned it in the Discord server like a couple days ago.
Oh, in where?
I'm not gonna spoil it. I want to see if you can figure it out.
God damn it, Dave. God damn it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna start talking, and you can tell me if it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad we waited a week because like a few more things got added to the list.
Oh, okay.
This weekend or last weekend, Sam and I finally watched Gorgo.
Oh hell yeah! What'd you guys think?
I thought it was awesome and pretty funny. And Sam thought it was good fun.
I'll take it.
I love the design of Gorgo. I think it's awesome. I love how his roar is just like some guy screaming into like a megaphone. And like a lot of the effects were like really, really good actually.
The effects in Gorgo are fantastic.
Like I honestly feel kind of bad for watching it on a 4K TV because I think watching it in that format doesn't help it at all. But man, like there was a lot of like, obviously there's a lot of, not so great blue screen, but like the effects that they had like that worked, they really worked. They looked really good. And God, Gorgo himself like just a lot more menacing than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the movie, like I see Gorgo on the great art done for that Blu-ray that I bought, but like in the movie I didn't really think he'd be that intimidating, but pretty intimidating honestly.
It's great.
Also all the humans are absolutely shitty. Why put a child monster in a zoo and treat it like shit? And like you expect me to root for humans? Like what the fuck? So fucked up.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to really root for the humans.
Not like supposed to, but like not supposed to root for them, but like I don't know. It was a great time though. It was pretty good. I want to go back and watch a lot of the shorts and stuff. I didn't watch Waiting for Gorgo. I wanted to, but
you gotta. Waiting for Gorgo's so good, man. It's so funny.
Yeah. It was on it was not on the disc that we watched the movie on. And
okay, it's only like the special features disc. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great time. I really like it. I'm probably gonna watch it again pretty soon, honestly.
Let's go.
Yeah. And other than Gorgo, I finally started Attack on Titan. I finished season 1.
There you go. You figured it out. That's the one I was referring to, Brian.
That's the one?
Yeah.
I thought you meant I finished something completely, not just
No,
season 1.
I saw you finished it, and I asked what you thought because I just finished season 2, and I'll talk about that after you're done. And then you ignored that because we were talking about the Halo show instead.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, season 1, it was it was definitely an anime. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. Like just seeing how over dramatic the show was really funny. Yeah. The Titans are very creepy. They freak me the fuck out. I hate Aaron. I hate him. But you know what? His Titan form is pretty badass.
You're kind of supposed to, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I am watching the dub though. Full disclosure. Mm-hmm. And I explained it to you, but it's basically because Sam, our number one fan, and I like to banter a lot.
Which is perfectly fine. Yeah.
It just makes it hard to watch the show and talk at the same time. And so I know you people listening, you'll say blasphemy and you'll probably remember that in the past I've said that I only watch stuff subtitled, but you know what? People change. Circumstances are different.
I mean, we've been watching the dub for Blazer mostly.
That's true. Boy, we got to get back on that.
Yeah, we do.
It's over now. I just got an email that it ended.
Yep. So yeah, we'll be doing that. We'll be getting on that pretty soon.
Yeah, but yes, season 1 of Attack on Titan, pretty good. You told me season 2 is a lot better, so I'm doubly excited. We started it on Sunday, I think, and we're a few episodes in, and so far I can already tell that it's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, season 2, it's a lot shorter too. It's like 12 episodes long, but it is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like I like it more than season 1 because like season 1 is it's kind of by the numbers, honestly. Like it's
season 1. The thing that drives me nuts that it does all the time, and it's part of what makes it funny, but also is just kind of like boring, is that it's people saying they're gonna do something or saying how angry they are,
Brian,
and then they don't do anything for 3 episodes.
Brian,
and I know that that's how animes work.
Yeah, that's just how anime works. I'm sorry to let that.
I know it is, but it's like to just a degree that I have not seen before personally.
Well, thankfully, there's because season 2 is a lot shorter. There's a lot less of that. But the issue I have with both seasons so far is that, and apparently, from what I've heard, this doesn't get solved until literally the very end of the show. The show keeps coming up with mysteries and refuses to solve them. Like, I think of all the mysteries and questions that season 1 asks, one of them gets answered in season 2, and then season 2 also brings with it a bunch of questions, and I'm like, okay, how many things are you expecting me to keep track of? Thankfully,
you gotta download a spreadsheet.
I guess I do, but no, I season 2 I really liked. A friend of mine, Jeremy, he mentioned that like season 2 is kind of where the hype for Attack on Titan like is warranted. And I feel I definitely feel that. Like I was much like even from the first episode of season 2, I was like way more engaged because like things were more interesting. We're like going outside the wall and everything. And there's like a bunch of new, different, weird stuff. Like you said, you started season 2.
Yeah, I saw the big hairy dude.
Okay, yeah, the Beast Titan was like, oh wait, what the fuck is this? This is sick as shit. That's
man,
like,
when he talked.
I was not expecting that at all. I'd been spoiled for a couple of things regarding the series, but that was something I had not seen. I was like, oh, okay, that's new.
I was not expecting it. I thought he was just going to be one of the colossal titans, but hairy. But
yeah, nope, not the case.
As far as I know, that's not the case.
But yeah, no, season 2 is really good. I'm probably going to be starting season 3 soon because I'm almost done. Here's the next thing I'm talking about. I'm almost done with Ultraman Geed. In the time it's taken us to finish Blazer, I've watched almost an entirely different Ultraman show.
I mean, hey, you know what? It's partially my fault. I have not been around because
you moved. It's totally understandable. I don't blame you. But yeah, Geed's been fun. It's not like anything groundbreaking. It's just very like. It's just good. It's a solid Ultraman show. It's actually been getting a lot better as it comes to a close. Like the quality started to ramp up a little bit, which has been nice. But overall, it's good. I think I still like Orb better. And obviously, like Blazer blows it out of the water, of course. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, Geed's been pretty good. I got one more episode plus the movie. But, you know, the movies are never really, like, required viewing for these shows.
No.
So, you know, what else? There's a couple. I like, took stock of it, and it's like there's a bunch of stuff I got to cover today.
Hey, you know, there's still one other thing I have.
Oh, okay. Lay it on me, Brian.
I mean, it's one of those ones that's, like, very much, like, could be kaiju related, maybe. Mm-hmm. I watched all of Gravity Falls.
Oh, I did mention this. Yes,
I told you about it, but I didn't say it on here. And yeah, it's one of number one fan of the show, Sam's favorite shows, and she finally got me to watch it, and I had a great time. Great show. Love all the characters.
Absolutely. I haven't watched it since it first like wrapped, but I've been meaning to watch it, like rewatch it, like for years now, and I haven't gotten around to it. But I will get to it eventually.
It's like really interesting how like this show, it has so much stuff that's like right up my alley, and I just never even heard about it until Sam told me about it. I'm like, what is Gravity Falls? I never heard of that.
disappointing.
Like, what?
But now you've been converted. You understand now. Everything is all tied together. So
yeah. Oh man, it was real good. Like real good. Anyone listening who has not watched it, like, you know, I had never heard of it before I saw it, but I was like instantly into it as soon as it started. I'm like, yes, this is good, especially if you like cryptid stuff. It's kind of in the same.
Oh, that's exactly who it's for, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, it kind of moves on from that kind of stuff a little bit later, but like it's still
like the more mythos stuff. But that's okay.
But it very much starts as like a cryptid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just super good time. Love it a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked. I'm glad you've been converted to the Church of Gravity Falls, Brian.
Yeah. Me too.
So something else I've watched. I think I actually like mentioned it brief. I don't know if we were still recording. No, I think we were still recording when I mentioned this. With Quazies, I watched Q the Wing. I think it's called Q the Winged Serpent. I always think it's the Winged Terror, but I'm pretty sure it's Q the Winged Serpent. It's actually like, I wouldn't call it a good movie, but it's like a pretty like great ride. It's from Larry Cohen, who, you know, he's all about like cheesy slasher B movies. It's basically that through the lens of a giant dragon in New York. It's really, really funny. It's shockingly graphic. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised of how graphic it was because Larry Cohen, but like Q, it's a wild time. I highly recommend it. I think it's on Shudder and also maybe Tubi, but don't quote me on that. But Q is well worth your time. Again, not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but just a good time. So take from that what you will, Brian.
Is it a good high?
Yes, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
All right.
I
have Shudder. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Just before coming here, I finished reading Kronos by friend of the show Jeremy Robinson. It was one of his earlier novels. It's about a big sea monster, and it was pretty solid. It was very similar in structure to The Meg, which is even funnier because he actually has a quote from Steve Alton on the cover of the book.
Wow.
Yeah, I can know because you know this authors will get quotes from either reviews or fellow authors on the front of the book, and still Steve Alton was the one for Kronos, which is kind of funny. So it was a little reading because I've been like reading the Meg books as well. It was kind of a difficult sometimes to be like, oh yeah, no, this is not Steve Alton. This is Jeremy Robinson that I'm reading, not Steve Alton. This is not a Meg book. This is a Jeremy Robinson book.
This is a good author.
Hey, come on. There's a couple good. Well, there's only been 2 bad Meg books so far that I've read, at least.
I don't know why, but every time we talk about
no, I know.
I think about that post you sent me about that guy.
I know. Sent you? No, I read it. I read it verbatim on the show, Brian.
Oh yeah. No, okay, yes.
Yeah, but no. Kronos was a lot of fun. The monster is basically Manda, like in design, more or less, is how I visualized it in my head while I was reading it. So that was kind of fun. There have been books of his that I've liked more, but there have been books of his that I've liked less. So there's that. But it was fun, Kronos. But the final thing I want to talk about, and I teased you with it, Brian, yesterday.
Oh, the thing that had to do with shark.
Yeah, let me. I gotta scroll up a little bit and find it because it was kind of a wild.
Our idiotic exchange.
Yeah. Here it is somewhere.
I found it. I can read it.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Pop Culture Museum in Seattle, and I asked, "Oh, do you think they'll have Godzilla stuff there?" And you said, "Maybe. I hope they have the Meg." And I said, "Oh, speaking of the Meg, I gotta tell you about something regarding it, but I'm gonna save it for the show tomorrow." and you were like trying to guess what it was. And you go, are you reading another book? I said, no, but I did watch something. You said, was it a bad movie? I said, no, it was a fantastic movie. Does it have Meg in the name? It does not. Does it have shark in the name? Yes. To which you said, interesting. That's like a million potential movies. Glad I narrowed it down. And I told you, oddly enough, in a roundabout way that you won't understand until right this second, Brian, you did narrow it down significantly. So I will tell you, I watched a documentary called Sharksploitation, which is just about shark movies, Brian.
You know what? That was worth the wait.
Was it worth the wait? I'm glad. Well, no,
that was worth the wait.
Don't say that yet, because I got to tell you about it. Because first off, fantastic documentary. Like I had a feeling it was going to be a good time going in, but like it was a blast. I could watch like another 2 hours of that shit. But I need to show you a clip, and I need you to watch it here while we record, so we can get your unfiltered, candid reaction to it. I got to bring it up. So I'm gonna like kind of set the stage for this. So they were talking about a movie called Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, and they had the director
I actually know that movie.
Do you know the line?
Not the line, but I know that movie.
Okay, well, you know the movie, so I'm going to send you a clip from the movie. So they were talking about this supposedly infamous line from this movie. They were hyping it up and hyping it up. And so the director, again, they were interviewing the director, and he was talking about it like they were at the end of the day, the shooting day, and John Barrowman, who is the lead, he said, like, oh, can we run one more take? I want to say something, kind of funny to whoever the lead actress's name is. And so they shot the scene. So I'm gonna just watch this, because I was not prepared for this. I didn't know what to expect. I was not prepared for this to be the line.
I don't know what to expect, so I'm ready for it.
All right, here we go. Brian's reacting to the infamous line from Shark Attack 3 Megalodon.
All right, 3, 2, 1, going.
We'll meet back here at 8 a.m. Don't be late.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, me too, but, I'm really wired. What do you say I take you home and eat your pussy?
What? Why? What? I was not expecting that.
I know, right?
At all. I was expecting some kind of stupid, shitty shark pun, but they literally, my boy is down bad. That's all I got.
No, I have to explain what happened after they, because again, they hyped up the line and then they played that clip. So the director was talking. He said he like fell out of the chair laughing during shooting, and he told the editors, use this take with the logic of, I'm going to leave this in the movie until someone tells me to take it out. And clearly, no one told him to take it out. Just incredible. Incredible.
Can you imagine just like putting on just a shitty movie on in the background, like not even thinking about it?
And
like,
then you get hit with that, yeah.
And then that shows up, and you're like, when sometimes you have something on in the background, you just like auto tune back into it every once in a while. Can you imagine if you like tune back in right at that moment?
Right.
Oh, I'm watching softcore pornography.
Right. So fucking funny.
What the fuck?
But yeah, that was overall though, Sharksploitation is like a legitimately fantastic documentary, and Brian, you need to watch it. That's also on Shudder. I think it might be a Shudder exclusive. I don't know for sure, but like it is one of the most fun documentaries I've watched in ages. And
if I get to hear that line again, I'm
of course. And of course, they talk about the Meg near the end, because they go they start like way back, like pre-Jaws,
where like before sharks were portrayed as monsters in movies, which like I never really stopped to consider that may have been the case at one point. So it was actually really, really fascinating. And one of the reviews on Letterboxd was really funny. I think it's from Joe Lynch, who was a director. No, it's not. Who was the one who did this? Oh man, I can't even find it. Oh, okay. This is the review. It's just, you're in for a fun documentary when the first talking head is Roger Corman. And it's like, yes, absolutely. Like, that's so accurate. But yeah, no, definitely check out Sharksploitation for anyone listening, but you most of all, Ryan, because it's on brand for us. We have to.
That's true. It is very on brand.
So that's everything I've been checking out. They finally got through all that, so we did it. Hooray!
Hell yeah, brother.
Brian, should we do Blazer next? Should that be our next episode?
What? We'd be recording in 2 weeks?
2 weeks. I think that's enough time to finish Blazer.
Yeah, I'm down. Well, I mean, we'll just one night we'll just blitz through a bunch of it.
I don't think we actually have that many episodes to go.
No.
I think we're just kind of like exaggerating how much we actually have left to watch. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Because I'm pretty sure I remember which episode we left off on. Scroll down.
It was at least above 10.
No. Oh, the ones we left off on. I believe we are on episode. No, we are on episode 22, which means we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have 4 episodes left. We can bang that out in one night.
Oh, I thought it was more.
I thought it was more too, because the last episode we watched was the one where they fight. What's his name again? The guy, the flying dude, right? That was the last one we watched.
Oh yeah, the one who they just were like, oh yeah, he's still around.
Yeah, and he literally worked as like a fucking bomber.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the last episode we're on. So then I think we have 4. The Ultraman wiki is being kind of weird, but
I am gonna take your word for it.
Oh, apparently they have like extra episodes that like weren't aired in Japan that like that's very strange. Where can I watch this? Oh, we can't even watch it here. It's only in Hong Kong, Thailand, and Taiwan. All right, never mind. That's strange. Okay.
That's fucking weird. Okay.
That is weird. Okay, so we actually have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 4 episodes left. We can 100% do that, bang that out in one day. So, yeah. All right, Ultraman Blazer, for sure. That's our next episode. Cool, we did it.
Yes, we did.
So yeah.
That's probably it.
That's going to be the show. Hope y'all enjoyed. Again, I know we did.
Yes.
Yeah, go check out our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, all at Talking Toku. I did mention...
And soon to be Twitch channel, maybe.
Maybe. We haven't decided yet. Shh.
It's probably going to
Spoilers.
actually be
YouTube.
live streaming on YouTube, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. So
no
keep an eye out for that.
Right.
Again, go check out Quazies on all of their socials, mostly the YouTube, though, because that's where all their work is. Obviously, go check out Kaiju United at their various stuff. Facebook group, website, obviously, that's the main thing. Discord server. Let's see what Kaiju United's got. I think they got some pretty cool stuff right now, if I recall correctly. If the website wants to load, which it's not, which I don't think so. Maybe. Oh, there we go. They did do a write-up on the old Lost Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes that covered Godzilla, which is a really cool thing. They got Sofubi Sit Down, buddy of mine, Brian. He's doing like figure reviews, so he's partnered with them now, which is nice.
there's a big kind of going off the shark exploitation. They had an article on the Kong exploitation, so all the like other giant ape movies that came out in the wake of King Kong. So that's a fun article as well. So go check all those out. You know the drill. Again, Blazer, not next week, but the week after. So keep an eye out for that. Also, going back to our Discord server, hey, I got Lethal Company. We were playing it the other day, so come on in and play Lethal Company because I had a blast with that. God damn.
I would have joined, but I had work to do.
What a nerd.
But next time, I will definitely be there.
Sick. So yeah, come play Lethal Company with us. Come game with us. We're gamers. Are you a gamer?
We are also.
Prove it.
I was a full-time gamer, but now I'm a part-time gamer.
Part-time gamer.
You can cut that out or leave it in, up to you.
I'm leaving that in. That's too funny to cut out.
It was pretty cringe. Holy shit.
Well, if it's the more cringe it is, the more likely I am to leave it in, Brian. So do with that what you will.
You motherfucker. All right.
All right, guys. We will see you in a couple weeks to review Ultraman Blazer. And then, actually, I'm curious as to when. I want to look at the calendar real quick because that would be on the 5th. And then. I don't know what we're going to do after that because if we were to keep with our schedule, we would be recording on the 19th. But hey, I'm going to be visiting you, Brian, on the 19th. So I don't know what we're going to do after that. I have an
idea about that. I'm going to talk to you about it after.
Okay, sounds good. We'll check in with you after that at some point. All right, goodbye.
Bye.